Hello, PrestaShop community, and welcome to the second live update of 2024. Welcome, everybody. My name is Christian Podemski. I work as tech evangelist for the PrestaShop project, and here I'm not alone. Today with me, I have two special guests, Fabien from PrestaShop, lead product manager at PrestaShop, and Thomas, who is developer at Invertus. And they both prepared for you very interesting presentations. So take a look at today's agenda. Today's agenda is a bit shorter than usual because we don't have any news segment, but we can start with presentations. With presentations, we have two of them. First of all, will be Fabien presenting the plan for the new upgrade application for PrestaShop. And secondly, we'll have Thomas, who already spoke about this subject during the PrestaShop Developer Conference in Paris. He will tell you which techniques he would use to make your modules easier, quicker, and just simply better. So without further ado, I would like to invite Fabien Vallon, who is lead product manager at PrestaShop, to present you the plan for the new core application, core upgrade application. And I'm sure it's a hot subject in the ecosystem to make people's life easier with the better upgrade applications. So let's see what is planned for it. Hello, Fabien.
Hello, everyone.
So I will leave you on the stage without further ado.
Okay, thank you. I will share my screen. This one. Ah. Okay. Can you see my screen? Yes. Okay, so let's start. I will present you today the redesign of the upgrade application for PrestaShop. Whoa. Sorry about that. Sorry. By new upgrade application, I mean it will include the core application upgrade, the natives modules, the backup and restore tooling, two new applications, one in command line, separate from the back office and separate from the core, and a new web application. It would not include external modules, such modules you can find on the PrestaShop marketplace or external team. We have a lot of data and interview about that, and we know it's a huge project and a huge pain for the community and the developers. But we will work on it later, and we will start with the foundation first, and this is the core upgrade. What are the main pains for the upgrade application right now? Well, it's quite hard to maintain with some spaghetti codes. It's quite hard to test, especially for the QA team. You have to know that's about 35% or 40% of a major release. For the QA team is about testing upgrade. And the current auto-upgrade code is not really resilient for the compatibility check. If someone, a developer or a module, change the code base, if you change the database structure, and so on. So just let me know about a few words about glossary. When I will talk about original, I will talk about how PrestaShop should be installed. It means before potential modification by a developer, for example, a PHP file, the database structure, or the permission. When I will talk about current, it's your current installation, and this installation could be sorry about that, could be have been modified, and target is a version you want to install. About architecture and tech choice, we will have, as I said, two applications, one in command line and one in web, and both are based on a common framework, core updates. It's separate applications, so it will be easier to maintain it. It will avoid some bugs and pains, such as cache management and so on. And we want to keep it quite simple. Of course, it will be Symfony based. For example, for the command line, we will use the global option of Symfony, such as verbosity for developers, such as no quiet mode, no interaction mode, and so on. And we want to have a standard output for the command line, both for std out and stdr. It will help, for example, for CI or CD tools, for automation tools in hosted environments, to upgrade more easily PrestaShop. About the APIs on the server side, the API will deliver the PrestaShop version, the zip file. It will also deliver the MD5 SUM file. The MD SUM file contains all the MD SUM of all the files of a version, and also the database structure file. It's about to verify the integrity of the current version of PrestaShop. And the API will also deliver MD5 SUM to verify integrity of the three files, the zip, the MD5 SUM file, and the database structure files. About the command line, the tooling, we have a set of tools. The first one is a Doctor. It's a diagnostic tool to check your current installation, if the database structure has been modified. Same for file modification or database access, for file or directory permission, for admin folder, maybe for later memory, CPU, or PHP configuration file. Another tool is check compatibility. This one will check the compatibility for the target PrestaShop version. For example, PHP support, PHP extension support, configuration settings such as like memories and so on. The third tool is maintenance, which will enable, disable, or give the status for maintenance, both for back office and front office. It's a tool quite bit different from the current maintenance mode you have in the back office currently. Another tool is a check new version. It will check the new version of PrestaShop available, depending on your current installation. The download tool will download a specified version of PrestaShop, and it will check the integrity of the zip file, the MD5 SUM file, and the database structure file also. And finally, we have the upgrade tool with the different steps. The first one is the pre-installation that will check if all the pre-requirements of your installation, both technical, but also if you have changed some file on your system, then it will unzip the PrestaShop version, upgrade files, upgrade database, and then finally post-installation stuff like cleaning the cache, like get out maintenance mode, and so on. This is for the command line. And for the web app, it's only a prototype. For instance, we will start probably next week the framework and the command line part and web app a little bit, and backup and restore a little bit later, but I can show you some prototype. This part is into the back office, so you can have all your available PrestaShop version. For example, if you're here, you want to go to 8.1. And then you jump into the upgrade application, a separate application with the login and the password. Then you have to download the version. It will download it, checking all the integrity of all the file, zip, MD5 SUM file, and database structure file. Then you will have the pre-upgrade checklist with the technical compatibility, the database structure, same for files, same for permission. You can have blocker or non-blocker warning with information with a link to the documentation, check setting, and so on. So you can fix if there is some errors and reload the checklist, or start upgrade anyway at your own risk. So here it will be the upgrading page with all the process, upgrading files, upgrading database. Here you can also have some non-blocking error or blocking error. But for non-blocking error, you can also have a log, which are more developer log. If you want to debug or give it to a technical guy if you are a merchant, and more information about that. Once the upgrade is completed, you have the post-upgrade checklist, which is mostly automated. For example, clearing the cache, disable the maintenance mode, verify connection, and when it's done, you go back to the back office to maybe the last step, for example, upgrading modules and so on. And that's it for me.
Thank you, Fabien. So I'm sure we are all looking forward to seeing the new upgrade application. Do you have any plan, any specific dates on when we could expect the new upgrade application to be live?
We will start next week. But for the release plan, I don't know yet. I hope to have more developers on it. Currently, 2 developers, maybe this soon 4 or 5. This is probably for before the release of the 9.0. But I don't have a date today, a release date today.
Okay, thank you. So there is a question from Timothy. He asks from which version it will work, like from 1.7 to 9.0 or some other?
From 8 for sure, 8 and 8.1 for sure. We don't know yet for 1.7. Maybe, probably, but I'm not sure yet. Yes, it would be nice to from 1.7 to 9. Yes.
All right. I don't see any more questions. I'm sure if there are any, I will make sure to pass them to Fabien so we can answer them. Maybe during the some other live update when we will show the progress on the core upgrade application. So thank you for today, Fabien, and see you on some other time on live update.
Thank
So now I will invite to the stage Thomas, who will be speaking about modules. So hello, Thomas.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Christian. So, thank you for the invitation. And I have actually a huge topic, so I will start ASAP.
Yeah, so I'm leaving you the stage. Enjoy.
Thank you. Okay, famous question. Probably you can see my screen. Yes, let's go. So, short about me: 8 years mixed backend and front-end experience at Invertus. Most of the experience was with the PrestaShop stores, although currently I'm I'm a leading front-end developer at Project Stockfiller, working with microservices, multi-front-ends, and etc. A little bit about hobbies, of course. I'm playing airsoft. This is me with a G46 Scorpion rifle connected to the high-pressure air system. Yeah. And agenda, it seems like not big, but actually it will be because I'm covering almost all the processes we are doing, or some parts I wish I would do. This is the main title of my presentation. So let's get into it. Now, probably you, as a module developer, experience the same thing as we do. So you need to support multiple PrestaShop versions. And yeah, so there's actually a huge complexity behind that. And there are many tools and techniques that could help us to work with that. And here comes the Docker to the rescue. This is my go-to tool for everything now. And I currently will do some live demonstrations. So jumping to my editor. And we actually, at Invertus, we created the workspace to help us develop locally the modules to. So actually, I don't need to have local in my machine, neither PHP, neither Composer, nothing. It's just a plain computer which runs Docker. And who are familiar with Docker, they might know everything, but I'll just quickly explain every part. So this is the Docker Compose file where we have instances, services we want to run. We are running MySQL service. I'm selecting the image. There's a Docker hub where you can pick the Docker images. So I'm selecting the MariaDB certain version. You can switch to MySQL, of course, and the PrestaShop container as well. So I using environment file where I can just show using this tag. I can pick which version I want to use in my Docker container. And a very important part is the volumes. When you work locally, your changes are being reflected to the Docker container ports and everything. But don't have that much time to explain everything. This is the env file for me. So version tag, I'm currently will be using the latest PrestaShop. And what happened? And with the workspace, we are using Git submodules. So we installing module to the PrestaShop as a submodule, Git submodule. So you can actually use the same module between many PrestaShop versions. I currently have the one PrestaShop, but if I start switching the tags, but it will install more PrestaShop versions, and I can work on them. I did not test that, or I can work on the same time. But yeah, you can switch between PrestaShop versions very easily, actually. How to run? We have a make file, and I just have some commands in the make file. And I'm currently just launched the Docker Compose app-d, so just saved some time. And as you remember from my environment file, here I have, let's go. Yeah, it's a PrestaShop. So what is the power of this? What is the point of this, actually? So let me explain in the slides. Let's get back to the slides. As mentioned, easily switch between PrestaShop versions. And this is a huge power. If you are unlucky to work with a PHP 5.6, so you know the struggle that on the local machine, it's very hard to configure that. But you can pick all the Docker image and still work on all the PrestaShop versions, or you can switch between environments and etc. And the very powerful thing is that you're actually running tests on the same tools, same environments, same Docker containers. And even if you have deployment processes set up, you are running demos or even the production sites on the same Docker containers. So this is the main advantages of that. Another topic. Another topic is PHP static tool analysis. So the famous quote for me is find bugs before they reach production. And I'm going to demonstrate this in the PrestaShop context. So we have this code. I just have a portion from the module. So it's a hook. And actually this code, if it's an order controller, call this method, and do something. Return something. Seems like legit code. Okay. But it has an issue, and we will come to that issue after I'll explain all the processes with the PHP stand. PHP stand setup on the CI environment is actually, so what are the use for the tests if you are not running them on the CI environment? So it's, in this case, I'm demonstrating the GitHub CI environment. So I'm displaying I'm just using the matrix to add Docker tags for which PrestaShop versions I want to test module. Then I, of course, install all my dependencies. And this line is actually hard to understand, but who familiar with Docker is that I'm pulling the PrestaShop image actually and mounting it. And this is the Matrix PrestaShop version. So I'm currently in my test setup. I'm at the same time doing that testing for, in this case, for 1.7.4.0 and for the latest PrestaShop versions. I'm doing the testing. In GitHub Actions, I think there are 10 concurrent actions, if I'm not mistaken. This line is even more important. So actually, I'm using the PHP stand tool to inject my module into that PrestaShop, because I'm testing the module inside certain PrestaShop version. No worries, I will share, the code will be shared and slides will be shared after the slides, so you can get more familiar. It's hard to understand this line, but yeah, it works. There's a very special neon file for PHP stand tool and thanks for the PrestaShop team that they did a hard work. So I'm including their configuration, which does a lot of work to make PHP stand work in the modules. And you need to, few things you need to include controllers, the source folder, and your main module folder. Level 2 is just for very basic errors. You can have, I think, level 5, and it will be very hard to fix errors with the PHP docs and etc. You must not forget the composer.json file actually, and you need to use this class map to autoload all the classes, because PHP stand otherwise won't see anything and won't be able to detect issues, and won't be able to run actually. And yeah, the I mentioned tool from PrestaShop team to have some dev tools, some abstractions to help run PHP stand, and there are more tools actually inside the package. And the final result, it's a screenshot from GitHub CI, GitHub Actions. So as you can see, if you recall, call to undefined method get checkout process. On 1.740 version, this method does not exist, and they know about this error before it reached production. So great success. Okay, let's talk about testing topic. And yeah, as I'm surfing, I'm usually using modules when we work with the stores. So I not often see many tests, unit integration, unit sometimes, integration very rarely. I've never seen an end-to-end test actually in the module, apart from the PrestaShop core team. Anyway, but we can fix that, of course, everyone. The integration tests. Yeah, let me check the next line. Yeah, it's the type of software where you test a certain portion of the code, actually, not the units, but the portion of the code which includes the communication with a database, so with an actual store. And actually, there's a fun part with the third-party APIs, because how do you test your module with the third-party APIs, right? You can't just use the production APIs or maybe testing APIs. Your testing might not be consistent. But I want to show you some techniques. So let's get back to my live coding. And now I have a module. Don't worry, this module will be shared as well. So in this module, I'm using now, I want to show the code a bit. I'm going to talk about, yeah, it's, I'm using the custom service container. Let's jump to it, service provider, yeah. And actually, this is a real, like I would say, a real application imitation. You register your services and etc. And this line is important if your app environment is the CI. For yes, you're using in your application in a test environment. I'm using a bit different service container to register my code. Register my code. On a real application, let's imagine, of course, this is a small application. It's not a real application, but anyway, it's a real application, my payment module, which has a payment API client, which has a base URL, let's say, a real one. And on my test environment, I'm using the fake URL So not the fake one, but I'm actually will be demonstrating you a tool to get the response to mock your APIs. So the main idea is the mocking of your APIs actually, and I want to demonstrate that. Just have to make some commands. And again, this is a different way to run a PrestaShop. Oh yeah, I forgot one thing. Yeah, I will just clean my Docker images. PrestaShop network already exists. Okay, one moment. Yeah, I just have to delete my network. Oh, wait. I have more commands to it. I forgot. Make run ps and okay. Yeah, this one. Yep. Okay. PrestaShop is spinning for me now. And so it's again, I'm loading new PrestaShop, but the same steps I'm doing here, I will do the same steps in the CI environment. So what you do here, you just copy paste the same commands in the CI environment. It will work the same way. And just want to verify that my PrestaShop is actually running. I have a port somewhere, port 8080. Yeah, this is a node. So this is don't mix my first topic, the local environment. It's for your local development. Yeah, this one is just a pure CI thing. Yes, my story is here. Yeah, I before this presentation, I already hit the install module to save some time because I have more commands here. As you see, install module or reset module. And yeah, then I'm coming to the famous tool WireMock. It's called. Now, what is WireMock? So WireMock helps me to mock my API. So if I have a third-party payments API, let's say, I can mock all the requests and I can mock the response, so I can return the fake responses. Yeah, make one WireMock. Yeah, let's go. Okay. Now I want to demonstrate a real test, an integration test. Yeah, and the test case itself. Yes, so actually this is the integration test because it's using actual instances and using the real containers. So I'm pick from dependency injection container. I pick my payment provider, and I'm performing logic to. It's an imitation to get card names. In real app, it would be much more code than this, but I wanted just for demo purposes to be it simple. So I'm getting credit cards and I'm returning only their names. Now, from where I'm getting these credit cards, yeah, I'm actually, this is the WireMock folder, and it has a mapping. And this JSON means that when you perform requests to the URL which ends with cards, return response 200, and include the body, which is located in files, cards. So return this body. So yeah, this means like that. And let's run my test. Hopefully everything works. Run integration test. Also, I'm doing some permission thing. Yeah, I'm not gonna talk about that. No. Oh. It's running. Oh, yes, and all good. All 3 test cases just passed. Everything went fine. So we just want to say about test cases. Of course, in the test cases, you have to have successful flow and fail flow. That's another topic. Anyway, I want to demonstrate how I created a fail flow actually in a WireMock configuration. So yeah, there's a pay fail. Okay, so this basically means when I create post request to the endpoint pay, and the body part pattern. So the body of the request, the amount is equal to 0. You can send 0 money, right? So you get a response 400 and with some body part, let's say, yeah, in them out, yeah. So I'm actually, when you here have a real application, it's the same communication, some or similar communication. So you just, when you're working, you are imitating what the real API responses will look like. So this helps you to cover your entire application flow. Actually, this is a very huge thing. Okay, close this topic. Let's proceed with another. And yeah, the end-to-end tests, the holy grail of testing. It's actually, in short, it's actually a way of testing the user behavior, imitating the user behavior, what's actually happening in your application. Yeah, and for web developers, it's testing web application by imitating clicks, form submits, page loads, scrolls, drags, everything actually. And my tool of choice is a Cypress, and I will show you why. Yeah. So the third demo is, yeah, we're staying in the same window. Before doing that, I just want to demonstrate what flow I'm going to automatically test. So I'm just have a short test case, and my module just prints the credit card names here. It's of course in the real application, you should probably not print credit card information here, but anyway, for quickly demonstrating, I did that, and I'm going, what I click now, I'm going to automatically test that. So if anything fails here, it will always tell me that this flow fails. And yeah, I hit the npm install, so I now need to run, yes, this one, npm Cypress start. Yeah. npm run Cypress start, of course. And where it's going to open my window, yeah, it's opened in a very different location. Here, end-to-end testing, Chrome. And I have a Chrome in another browser. Let me show you. Oh, wait. I can't drag for some reason the window now. Okay, I can. No thanks. What is this? Okay. Anyway, I have just a homepage verification test. It just checks that my homepage is working fine. And now what I clicked before, let's get through this. And yeah, the page is loading a bit for some reason. And yeah, I have a bit, need to solve the issue with the third-party loading stuff. But yeah, it very fast did a click. And it actually tested everything that I expected to this would appear in this checkout page. So I also tested that to carts. I also tested that the module is opened. I also testing that the page is loaded and so on. How it's written, it's very easy actually once you configure everything. So I'm just gonna disconnect from this. It's written in a different folder, Cypress, end-to-end tests, cart page. So entire step is just visit the product URL. So I'm actually using fixtures to just add the data. So it's you are hard coding the data, but once you use PrestaShop, you know the data ahead of time, right? So you just hard coding the data here, the products URLs, want to click and etc. Yeah, so I'm visiting the product 0 URL. I'm clicking add to cart. I'm waiting for block cart model that it should appear at some point of time. Then I go to the cart page, and this is my custom code from module that should exist on that page because yeah, I'm expecting it to be. And here you can see that I'm using this actually, yeah, it's a jQuery-like syntax. I'm using the custom selector, so data CI. It's a very recommended thing from the Cypress team to when you code, just to have a specific selectors. Okay, end-to-end testing, finished topic as well. And the main takeaways: use pictures, as I did. On the CI environment, record videos and screenshots and export them as artifacts. Yes, what you see, it was a demonstration on my computer, but on the CI environment, when the test, the test successful or not successful, the video recordings are always taken. You can disable that. And when something fails as well, the screenshot is taken, what exactly fails. But the video recordings are very valuable. Actually, once something fails, you just download the video recording and you can see that the test failed in a certain step and how it failed, actually. Yeah, so it's a very powerful tool. And yeah, use data CI attributes or templates for easier data access. And mock all third parties. If you have JavaScript code communicating with third party, you can use Cypress mocking as well. Oh yeah, this one is actually, we can have a discussion on this one. Of course, should we mock or not mock it, depending on your business case. I would prefer always mocking the third parties, because third parties are not your application, and your application should never depend on something from the third party. So you should test always your application. As you see here, the API is actually the wire mock instance which return the test data. So I'm not using the real data here. Yeah. Okay, I'm not finished yet. Okay, reusability with composer packages. It's a way different topic now what I talked about. So at Invertus we try to reuse code, but yeah, as I said, my title is how I wish everything should be. And I want to talk about certain levels of the packages. The utility package, I call it. You should put in utility package, you should put the framework agnostic code. There should be no business related code actually as well. The code is pure. What it means is that with the same input, it produces the same output. So don't use context get context customer, context get context currency. Inject that via method parameters. It will make your life easier. A very simple sample of the pure utility class, which is business agnostic. It's a not real sample, actually. You can just write array intersect probably, and it will be fine. But you can see what I mean, that you just create a pure method which you can put in any project and it will work the same way. Yeah. And of course, when you write packages, you must unit test everything, because this package might be used in multiple projects. So you don't want to break something in another project unwillingly. Now, okay, maybe someone might ask how to create packages with PrestaShop dependencies, where the PrestaShop is a dependency actually. And for this, I have a demo as well. Yeah, the third topic. Not going very much into the details, but as you can see, the folder structure here is a SRC folder. It's not PrestaShop, right? And in SRC folder, it's like it's a package structure, I would say. And there's my services, and it's a logger service. I'm extracting the logger, which uses the logger interface from PSR. And yeah, this is my simple logger implementation. And it uses the PrestaShop configuration. And how can it be? Like, I don't have PrestaShop in this project, but I have PrestaShop in this project because I'm using Docker as well. Same technique. I'm using Docker to preload the project, the PrestaShop. So the PrestaShop is located now here. And my PHP Storm editor just auto-completes everything very easily. So I can write this code. Now, when it comes to the testing, everything works well until it's a unit test. So the code is loaded. Actually, I'm actually doing very interesting technique. I'm injecting this source folder into the PrestaShop inside the Docker container. And when I run tests, I actually running the test inside the Docker, not locally. Locally, it won't work, but I'm just executing my test inside the Docker. And the Docker compose file, let's see, where can I here? Yeah, so I'm mirroring the source folder to PrestaShop root folder, library source, and I did some things to override. I don't find that quickly now, but to just how can I say, the package is actually inside the PrestaShop, so it can take all these classes and you can actually unit test them, and you can actually apply integration tests for that as well. Yeah, the database connection will work, and yeah, everything will work the same way. So yeah, to answer the question, you can also lift your code to packages with the PrestaShop dependencies to have your modular code outside of the PrestaShop scope. Why you would need to do that? So maybe you have something very reusable, you keep repeating inside every project. Okay, oh wait, I have the feedback. Yeah, just a small quick feedback. How to integrate this package? You can make it public in a Composer packages. Use private Composer packages, but you need to buy that. Use GitHub repository, and in this case, the demonstration how to use that package is with the GitHub repositories. You just add in the Composer just on this your GitHub URL to your private repository, and you just require your project and the master branch, or you can choose other branches, or you can choose the tags and everything. Okay, final topic, reusability in the front end. Actually, this is a very controversial topic, in my opinion. I just want to now quickly demonstrate what is reusability in the front end. So if you have some HTML block that you are using between modules, you might actually want to create that maybe with a React, maybe with a Vue, or maybe with a web components. It's up to you. But you can actually work with them in an isolated environment. And the isolated environment I'm calling the storybook. So it's yet another tool to run your components in isolation. As mentioned before, it can be pure HTML code. It can be web components, it can be React, it can be Vue. Actually, you can lift anything in a storybook and work on the isolation. So I just, for demo purposes, wait, you don't see my screen, sorry. I just launched the storybook. Yeah, for demo purposes, I created just a button component. Yeah, simple button component. Yeah. And yeah, you can, yeah, editable button component. Yeah, clicking works. And yeah, it's a counter button, I would say. But the main takeaway of that is that I can now use this button to load it to my project. And how I did that in the let's get back to the module. There are a few ways you can use that in your JavaScript, but you need to compile your JavaScript first. The second, I'm showing now the easy way. In the header template, I'm just requesting that script from the CDN. I added the free CDN. I used free CDN here. Script type module for web components, and I'm using the component with a custom name. I provided, I didn't show the component. It's a web component that counter, yeah. Then you need to assign the unique name to it, and yeah, it just performs its magic. And yeah, so I'm extracted some portion of my HTML to the project, how it looks like if I did not disconnected the server yet. No, I did not. Let's go here. Yeah, I'm using this. Yep, here. Oh yeah, hook display home. The button is here. Yeah, it works the same way. It looks the same way because the web components are using a shadow DOM. so they can be interacted. You can't inherit the CSS from the PrestaShop store, so they always will look the same no matter where you put them. Okay. Main takeaways from that. Okay, this is actually what I want to say. It's a controversial thing. If you really feel like you need it, do that. Otherwise, don't do that. And if you do that, use Storybook to encapsulate your components and work in an isolated environment. You will be surprised how efficient you will become by doing that. And yeah, don't forget to test your front-end code as well. Front-end code is as well testable, but it's another topic. And model development. And coming back to my title, I just changed the title. Everyone would use. I don't say everyone would follow what I showed, but the main things, main topics, what I would like to see in the community is that write automated tests. Just their existence is enough actually for other devs and for you in the future. Of course, readable code, and be part of the community. Merci. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Thomas. Lots of information, so I'm happy that you already thought about sharing your code on GitHub repository. I'm sure it will be a great opportunity for many to see how we can utilize Docker, for instance, to make our life easier. Since we discussed on this topic already in Paris, that developing modules for multiple versions of PrestaShop is quite hard and complicated and a complex subject. And Docker makes life easier in that sense and others. So thank you, Thomas. There's one question from Bubkar to you. It's about why Cypress is your tool of choice.
It's basically because I used that before. I tried other tools like Test Cafe, I think, but it's an old school one, I suppose now. But I know in PrestaShop team they are using another tool now. I forgot the name, but it's Playwright. Yes, very familiar to Cypress. I mean, it's just a tool. So I mean, if you use Playwright or Cypress, I mean, I'm happy that there are end-to-end tests in general.
Yeah, fully agree on that. So I will make sure to include all the links to the resources that you want to share with the community in the summary article of today's live update. Plus, I know you plan to write a little piece of content explaining techniques that you'd like to see in other developers.
Of course.
So that would be awesome. And yeah, last but not least, I would like to also mention one tool that is being created right now by one of the project members from PrestaShop, which is called PrestaShop Flashlight, and is basically a wrapper around Docker to utilize Docker to test your solutions. And I'm sure after seeing your presentation, some developers could use Flashlight to improve their workflow and usage of Docker in their applications, in their projects. And for you, Thomas, it might also be interesting to see what Flashlight is about. So yeah, if there are no more questions, I would like to thank you, Thomas, for joining us today. And I would like to thank you, Fabien, for presenting us the core upgrade application, new core upgrade application. As it's been said, links to resources shared by Thomas will be shared later in the article summarizing today's live update. So thank you, Thomas. Thank you, everyone, for joining today's live update, and see you some other time.
Thank you. Bye.